All right, man. We gotta talk about these fighters from different organizations that are coming to the UFC, man, and are giving these type of opponents, man. Because look, it's happened so many times recently in the last couple of months, where we have a fighter from a different organization coming into the UFC and getting title shots in their debuts, or fighting top 5, top 7, top 8 opponents, ranked opponents in their first UFC fights, which is I don't understand, man, because there's levels. Everybody knows there's levels between the UFC and any other organization, and it's proven in the last couple of months. We have Kaya Sakura, who came in from where? From Ryzen. He was a champion in Ryzen. He comes over to UFC, fights Pantoja, the flyweight champion, the flyweight king, and what happens? He gets dominated and submitted. And then they put him against Tim Elliott, which Tim Elliott, look, man, Tim Elliott, I understand the Tim Elliott one. He was supposed to fight Tim Elliott first. All right, someone like Tim Elliott, not put him against Pantoja. Now you put him against Tim Elliott, against someone who I don't think he's even in the ranks at the moment, because he's been fighting for a long time already. Tim Elliott fought Demetrius Johnson, DJ, when DJ was reigning supreme at the flyweight division, you know, and he's still fighting, and he's coming off a 2-year layoff, okay, 2-year off layoff against Kaya Sakura, and he submits someone like Kaya Sakura, man. Kaya Sakura is just too one-dimensional. Doesn't have any ground game, doesn't have any wrestling, doesn't have any takedown defense, just clueless in the ground. And I don't know what the hell Kaya Sakura is training. Is he still training his striking? Because his striking is already great, man. He's already good. We need to see him get better at wrestling, at the ground game, to be honest. Because if he's not really getting good at those type of skills, I just don't want to see him in the UFC anymore. And I don't think anybody would care to see Kaya Sakura. Let's be honest, he's popular. He's a popular guy. He's a popular dude in Japan. Has a lot of followers, gets a lot of views in his YouTube videos, and he is, in terms of like popularity, he's up there. But in skill-wise, he's just really down there, dude. Because he's just gonna get dominated again, Because there's a lot of fighters in the UFC, especially the flyweights, who are good everywhere. All right, these flyweights are good everywhere, man. In the UFC, they're good at striking, they're good in the ground, they're good with wrestling, grappling. And if you have somebody like Kaya Sakura, who is, let's be honest, dude, he came 15 years too late, man. Because nowadays, the UFC fighters, or fighters in general, aren't one-dimensional. Most of these fighters have skills, different skills, not just one art. And that's something that Kaya Sakura needs to, get back in the gym and train and get better at. Because if he doesn't get that, sorted out, hopefully he's not going to be in the UFC for too much longer, bro. Because one, the fans are already getting tired of him. The fans are already, obviously calling him a fraud, which obviously well deserved, to be honest, because he has been exposed. He has been exposed as one-dimensional, and he's been exposed of how weak the other organizations are, because the fans already don't want him anymore. They already want him out of the UFC. And I mean, if he gets another loss, bro, especially he gets finished again and doesn't show any improvement on any other aspects of his game, it's gonna be go wrong for someone like Kaya Sakura. Then we have Patchy Mix, man. Patchy Mix, another one, but this time from Bellator. I don't know if he was a champion in Bellator or not. Maybe he was, but he was a high-ranked contender in Bellator. He made a name outside of the UFC, and it's not that easy to make a name outside of the UFC. So Patchy Mix was one of those guys who, he showed a lot of promise in Bellator. He showed that he was good. He was really good in Bellator. Obviously, I think he lost in his last fight, I think, or something like that. But I think he got knocked out or something like that in his last fight, or before coming to the UFC, because he only had one loss. But he still had so many wins, so many finishes, and a lot of people were saying that if this guy grabs a hold of you, it's gonna be game over. But no one told him that the UFC is a different game. The UFC is in a different level. All right, it's in a completely different level because they've put him against, I think, a ranked fighter, bro. They put him against a ranked fighter. All right, and they put him against a ranked fighter, and he dropped the ball. He couldn't get nowhere near Bautista, bro. Mario Bautista just kept him. He just kept the distance, and he kept peppering him. It was like literally, Patchy Mix looked clueless out there. Another fighter that looked clueless, but in striking, he looked so slow. He looked like the jitters were hitting him, the UFC debut jitters, because he looked slow. He looked like he was hesitant. His striking was not. He would look like a fish out of water, bro. He looked like a fish out of water in the striking. And Patchy Mix got pretty much fucking dominated all 3 rounds. Just got dominated in the striking department. He couldn't even get a hold of Mario Bautista because Mario Bautista's footwork was too good, and his fighting style is just, he knows how to fight in his style, and he knows how to get out of range and keep it a distance, and he has pretty good hands. He has better hands than Patchy Mix. And Mario Bautista is also known for being a wrestler, and because what he did against Jose Aldo. He pretty much wrestled his way to victory. But no, he didn't even have to utilize his wrestling or his ground game or any of that. He just had to strike with him, and that was it. Patchy Mix was just pretty much defeated. And after watching that performance, man, I just don't have faith for Patchy Mix. Same thing with Kaiser Crow. I don't have any faith of these guys ever beating a top 10 contender. Alright, especially Patchy Mix, man. Then we had Patricio Pitbull Cruz, another Bellator fighter who, came from Bellator. I think he was a champion. He beat Michael Chandler, I'm pretty sure, in Bellator. And he came over to the UFC. But I have a little bit more understand, and I understand a little bit more with Pitbull Cruz because he's a lot older. He's too old, in my opinion, at this stage of his career to even challenge for a title. But he came over to the UFC, and they put him against Yair Rodriguez, bro. They put him against Yair Rodriguez, who is a top 4, top 5 featherweight. All right, he put him against a top 5 featherweight in Yair Rodriguez, and what happened? Yair Rodriguez just schooled Patricio Pitbull Cruz, man. He schooled Patricio Pitbull, who had no answers to the to Yair Rodriguez. He couldn't even touch him at all. Yair Rodriguez just pretty much whooped his ass. He whooped his ass for 3 rounds, man. And then obviously he won in his most recent fight, but they put him against a lower competition, which they should have done in the first place. That's what I'm saying. Don't put these guys with top high level competition. They put him against Yair Rodriguez, man. And what happened? He lost. He got fucking schooled. We have 3 fighters that got schooled so far already in 2025. Cruz, Asakura, and guess who else? Patchy Mix. And then, the most recent case, Arent Pico, man. Arent Pico, dude. Look, Arent Pico is talented. He's a talented fellow. Yeah, he's a talented fellow. He has the boxing, he has the wrestling, but the IQ, bro. I'm sorry, he lacks the IQ, my boy. Lacks the IQ, dude. Lacks the IQ. Why would he go and strike someone like Lerone Murphy? I understand someone like Aaron Pico has some good boxing, you know? He has good boxing, he has good hands. But Leroy Murphy, he has elbows, not just good boxing. He has elbows in there. I don't think Aaron Pico has elbows in his striking. I think he's just all hands. It just Leroy Murphy had more tools in the striking department than Aaron Pico. His kicks, I think his kicks too, and he knows how to maintain the distance, even though he was having trouble in the first couple of minutes of that fight. But guess what? Aaron Pico, like I said, low IQ in terms of fighting, went out there and he just, I don't know why would he do such a thing? Why would he do this? He literally went in there, rushed in, he rushed in defenseless. He was defenseless when he rushed in there. He rushed in the pocket of Leroy Murphy, and Leroy Murphy just fucking counters him with a beautiful spinning elbow. All right, Aaron Pico wasn't even moving his head. That little footwork that he did when he entered the pocket was just ridiculous. It was terrible. It was awful, man. And he got paid, you know. Leroy Murphy made him pay for that mistake, man. That's what happens, man. When you come from a different organization and fight someone like Leroy Murphy, man, a top 5 contender in the welterweight division, in the featherweight division, man. You know, and Leroy Murphy showed that he has better IQ than Pico, even though Pico has more tools than Murphy. Because I don't think Murphy has ground game, has wrestling. Pico does, but he just didn't use it for some reason. He should have used it. I thought he had IQ because in the interview that he did with DC, he said that what he needed to do was to take Leroy Murphy down, ground and pound him, get him fatigued, get him tired, so he could, you know, finish him in the striking.
A little bit different, and I'm aware of that. I can't just go in there and just go guns blazing, but I have to smother him. I have to make his life stressful in that octagon. I can't, you know, oh, let me show you my footwork and let's dance. No, we got to make the fight ugly. When we take him down, we got to bust him up with elbows. So when he does get up, his gas is going a little bit. The fakes, the jukes, the running is a little bit less, and it's just one of those fights where you're like, I gotta fucking go.
Yeah.
There's no time to let's see how good I am and my striking and let's go tit for tat. No, you got to make this fight ugly.
Yeah. So.
And that excites me because when I do fight like that, that means I'm throwing my punches, I'm throwing my combinations, I'm cutting off the cage, I'm hitting him hard to the body. You know, when I take him down, I'm looking to shatter his orbital, cut him up with elbows, you know, hitting him to the body and just making it ugly.
Yeah.
So I'm getting fired up, but
yeah, you're a little sick son of a bitch.
Yeah, that excites me.
You a little seasick, huh? You see him, his eyes start, I want to hurt.
That's the way.
I want to hurt him. It's fighting, though.
It's fighting.
That's what people are like, well, it's fighting.
I thought he was going to do that. You know, I thought he was going to go in there, take down Murphy, dominate him in the ground and pound him, get him tired, get him fatigued, so he would be less dangerous on the feet. But he didn't do that. He just went in there, and I guess the first couple of minutes he thought he was being really successful with the striking, so he decided to just keep the striking, which was a terrible idea, and he paid the price. So we have 4 fighters in this 2025 that came from a different organization. All right, and they all lost brutally in their debut. All right, Hachimik was the only one that wasn't finished, and Patricio Pitbull, but they got dominated. It was either domination, if it wasn't a knockout, or a submission. All right, only the few instances that has happened, it was Michael Venom Page, and RDR. But RDR, look what they did with RDR. They didn't put RDR with a straight killer right away, or with someone top 5, top 10. They put him with an unranked contender. RDR coming from one championship, two-weight champion, two-weight world champion, and one comes over, has a fight in the Dana Contender Series, I think, and then he wins. He wins his fight against someone who's not even high level. You know, he won. He got confidence, and right now he's in the 4-0 in the UFC. All right, that's how you need to bring these guys from different organizations into the UFC. You have to bring them slowly. Don't just fucking put them against a top 5, top 10, or put them in a championship fight right away. It's ludicrous. And then they're charging $80 for this shit. Come on, dog. Ridiculous, man. I'm happy the UFC is going to Paramount Plus, because I don't have to pay so much money. $80 for that. Incredible. But yeah, man, let me know, guys, what you think about, if you guys agree with me with giving these fighters from different organizations low-level competition first before, you put them against someone decent in the UFC, man. You gotta let them, touch the water a little bit, before they go in there and actually fight someone good. Because there's levels to this shit, and there's levels in the UFC. So thank you all for watching, and yeah, man. Peace.